Hey everybody, in preparation for our shift into the topic of Calvinism, I wanted to take a look at a book that I hadn't read before by Jonathan Edwards. What I found is the introduction alone made me stop and work through some of the full implications of what he was saying. The book is called The End for Which God Created the World. In it, Edwards, being Edwards, the introduction is basically defining terms and giving definitions. But immediately you can see why that matters to the subject. You see, if you get the terms wrong, everything that follows will simply be chaos. Now, before I get into what Edwards is actually arguing, let me explain what he means by an end. He spends most of the introduction talking about this, but an end is simply what you are aiming at, your goal, your purpose, why you do what you do. Edwards actually starts his explanation with the chief and ultimate ends, but I found it way more helpful to start from the ground up, so let me build this from the bottom. So we start at what is called subordinate ends. A subordinate end is something you pursue entirely for the sake of something else. You don't value it in and of itself. It's just a stepping stone, if you will. A means to get somewhere. Above that, you have ultimate ends. An ultimate end is something you value for its own sake. You want it because you want it, not because it gets you something else. And here's the thing. You can have multiple ultimate ends. Now, among those ultimate ends, you normally have a chief and you probably have inferior ends. They all share the same definition that they are all genuinely valued for their own sake, but one rises above the rest in terms of how much you value that end. That one is your chief end. But then Edwards introduces one more level, the supreme end. And this is where it gets important. A supreme end is not just the most valued ultimate, it is the one from which all the other ultimates flow. Everything else derives from it. It's the original source. And that is exactly what Edwards is trying to answer in this book. What is God's supreme end in creating the world? Not just what he values most, but what is the fountainhead, the original source from which everything he does in creation flows out of? Now that he has laid the groundwork and set up the question perfectly, he's going to have to answer it, defend it, and justify how it is right, good, and consistent with God's nature. I'm really excited to see where he goes from here. If you've read the book, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Until next time, stay shaped by reason, guided by faith, and grounded in Christ. We'll see you in chapter 1, where we look at what reason teaches concerning this affair. Take it easy.